What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, we are back on the Civic today. And I want to give a brief, quick rundown on the Civic for those of you that are new, because I know we have a lot of returning viewers, but we also have a lot of new viewers. So brief rundown. This is my 1997 D16 Y7 Honda Civic that we turboed. So I did an absolute budget build on this thing, budget turbo build, completely stock engine. I've got a Y8 intake manifold, not head, just intake manifold, a max speeding rods turbo, and all Amazon and eBay supporting parts. Now, the catch to this build is that we are not running any kind of electronic tuning. We have a stock ECU in there. So we're trying to do this whole thing without a tune, and we are seeing what we can do and what we can get away with for those of you that want to try the same thing. So the way I am controlling this thing, the fueling, is we have an FMU, fuel management unit, which basically gives you more fuel pressure with the more boost that your system sees. We have an adjustable fuel pressure regulator from Evil Energy, and we have a Subaru 255 fuel pump. Also, the main point of today's video is we currently have Y8 injectors in there. So right now the car is running very, very rich, which I'd rather run rich than lean, obviously, but we're trying to figure out how to get it less rich. You guys have been commenting a ton of stuff on what I should do, what I should try. This video, we're solely gonna focus on the injectors. I am gonna put my D16 Y7 injectors back in there and see how it acts. Before we do that, we're gonna take a drive with the system as it sits, and I'm gonna show you guys the air fuel ratio, where that's at, and then compare it. Now, even if our numbers run good with the Y7 injectors, this, I'd imagine, is gonna be pretty hard on those injectors, because I think they're like 160 cc, maybe 180. And I think the Y8s are 240. So we're gonna be forcing a lot of fuel out of those smaller injectors. But if the numbers look good, we're just gonna run it like that and see how long everything lasts, and I'll keep you guys updated. What we could do if those numbers don't look good is we could go back to the Y8 injectors and put a Y8 ECU in there so that it knows what to do with the injectors. So there's your brief rundown. So I guess right off the bat, let's go ahead and take a quick drive, do some pulls, and I will show you guys kind of where everything's at right now. Guys, hopefully you can see that AFR. I know it's going to be blinking all crazy because the frame rates and whatnot. So sorry about that. I didn't set everything up like I should have probably. But you can see, like, when I'm just cruising, like right now, it's around 13, which is pretty good, honestly. But then, like, I'm at idle right now, and it's very rich. I'm rolling, but I'm at idle. So let's get up here. Now, one thing I do need to test is the accuracy of our wideband gauge. it might be reading richer than it actually is, you know? So we need to kind of look at that just to make sure that our stuff is accurate, you know? Because there is a chance that it is not quite as accurate as it could be. Running good. I will say that. Running pretty good. So, you guys kind of saw those numbers with the Y8 injectors. You can definitely see that it's pretty rich. Just cruising wise, it's not too bad, but then when it goes to idle, for some reason it like goes back down to like 9 AFR. So, I don't know. Let's just, before we dig into that, let's go ahead. I've got my old Y7 injectors right here. Let's go ahead, throw those in the car, take the same drive, see what happens. Obviously, we'll be careful we'll watch our numbers, and if it gets lean, then we'll stop what we're doing. But let's go install these on the car. All right, so little side note, these injectors probably have 200,000 miles on them. My guess is they are original to the car. So, for what that's worth, we are having issues with our battery here. I really need to address that, but I'm kind of like pretending it's not an issue and hoping it goes away. Seems like we're barely running right now. We are running extremely, extremely lean. Okay, there we go. Now it's back up where it should be. So like right now it is running right at 14, which is as close to perfect as we're probably gonna get. Now let's see how it acts when we go drive it. Fuel pressure is at 30. Okay, so you see right there, AFR is dead nuts where it should be, which makes sense because this is a Y7 ECU with Y7 injectors and seeing 0 boost. So it is basically in factory condition right now, but we'll see what happens. We'll have fuel pressure low. It's actually pretty much perfect. Except for that 15, it's not bad. We may just have to raise the fuel pressure back up because I've got it. Yeah, I'll raise the fuel pressure up and then we'll see. It should bring that leanness down a little bit, but see, so it runs perfect with Y7 injectors. But like I said, I think it's probably hard on these injectors because it's forcing more fuel pressure out of them than what they're made for. Let's go take a look at what our fuel pressure's sitting at. So fuel pressure's sitting at 30. We'll probably raise that up. Our wideband, it's rich. So like it was perfect, then I drove it. Now it's rich. I don't really understand that at all. But regardless, I think we need to bump our fuel pressure up because it was running fairly lean while we were just cruising. So yeah, I'll probably bump that up. Sorry, I'll probably bump that up to 38. Okay, we got our fuel pressure dialed down into 38, our resting, is that what it's called, resting? I don't know, you gotta take the vacuum line off and then adjust it. So that's what we did there. I was going to change the, or I was gonna check the wideband gauge, but I would say, or the actual O2 sensor for the wideband, but I'd say that's probably pretty good because it was reading 14.7 initially at idle, which it definitely should be. It's still sitting at 10, so it's still rich for some reason, almost like the FMU is still I may need a better vacuum source for that FMU. Honestly, what I need to do, one of you guys commented this, but what I need to do is get a vacuum block and just run everything to that block so it's all consistent. So there you guys have it. It runs better on Y7 injectors, and when I say it runs better, I don't notice a difference with the drivability or just the driving in general. I don't see any difference with that. It's really just in the numbers. So with the Y8 injectors, it's just running extremely lean, or not lean, rich. Running extremely rich, which I'm not worried about, honestly. Not necessarily worried about that. I would be worried if it was running lean, but it's not. So at least we are on the safe side of things. However, the goal of this whole thing is to basically make this as reliable and consistent and I guess you could say OEM running as possible with no electronic tuning. So I guess for now, we're gonna run the Y7 injectors. We'll see how long they last. I've been told that running it this way is just simply hard on the car or on the injectors, which makes sense. So we'll see how long it lasts like this. And maybe the better fix would be to get the Y8 injectors back in it with a Y8 ECU. That way the ECU actually knows what to do with those injectors. So in the background, I'll try to source a Y8 ECU, which shouldn't be too bad because nobody wants them. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody wants them. It's not one that you would tune, which I said in a video before that it is. I was mistaken. You would not use a Y8 ECU to tune. So yeah, anyway, for now we're gonna run with the Y7s because I like the numbers. I think the next thing that we're gonna do on this is install our boost gauge. You guys probably were able to see on my phone cam that we were running pretty much a solid 7 to 8 PSI. I would like to just go ahead and bump that up to an even 10. And what I would do then is I would retard the timing just a little bit, just to make sure it's all safe, and stick with that. So we got a boost controller. We need to install that. All I got was just a cheap Amazon one. If anybody wants to send me a nicer boost controller, I'd be happy to show it show the install, do a review, you know, all that. But for now, we'll go with my cheap one. Just a quick recap. We have the FMU, which is a 12-to-1 FMU. And I did think it should have been a 10-to-1, but now that we have the Y7 injectors back in there, I'm pretty happy with how that one's keeping up. It actually looks pretty good. So 10-to-1 or 12-to-1 blocks racing FMU. I did just have a problem with it in my last video. We fixed it. I don't know, we didn't really have a problem with the FMU itself, but there's some little shims in there, and they were a little messed up, almost like something rough went through the fuel system and damaged those. And I would say that it just wasn't really like pulling enough vacuum to get back to normal. And what would happen was we would do a pull and it would stay very rich. It would not come back down. Like, it'd be running like 11 AFR, and then we would go do a pull, come back, and it'd be running 8 AFR. So that thing was getting stuck closed. So it was maximum fuel pressure, and it was not returning to its normal state. So Blocks Racing was very kind and sent us a brand new one, which I thought was pretty cool. So got that installed, and it fixed that issue. We are running a missing link right there with some one-way check valves, 4 of them. That whole setup is from Evil Energy. I made it with the Evil Energy parts. I do have a video on that if you guys want to check that out. Moving on, we've got our Evil Energy oil catch can. We have our Evil Energy adjustable fuel pressure regulator, which you guys just saw me adjust. And then, like I mentioned before, the fuel pump is a Suabru 255 fuel pump. So that's about it. Honestly, it's a pretty simple build, and I'm super happy with it. Even if this thing blows up tomorrow, I have gained an incredible amount of knowledge and experience with what we have done on this thing so far. And yes, I 100% say we, because you guys have been along for this entire thing, and you've commented and helped me a ton on this stuff. So I cannot thank you guys enough, and I am looking forward to continuing to grow with you guys. So I think that is probably going to wrap this video up. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Give this video a like. If you're not subscribed and you're enjoying this content, do me a favor and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that button. Thanks, guys. I will catch you in the next one.